And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Disney's Tsum Tsum Bubble Fever. Now, Tsum Tsums are from Japan originally. They're extremely popular right now, and I'm assuming in a year nobody will ever have heard of them. They look like worm versions of all the different Disney characters. I don't know. My kids love them. Everyone thinks they're cool. I don't know. They just seem like they lay there, but whatever. This game, which, by the way, is a unique box shape. Have not seen that one before. This game is a speed-style game for children, where you're playing cards as quickly as you can. Here's how it plays. The game is going to be made up of these Tsum Tsum cards here, and each of these is going to show different characters from the different Disney properties, and some of them are going to be large ones. They have a ×3 on them, and there are starter cards that are going to show various characters. This deck is going to be split evenly between the players. Players are also going to get a certain number of bubble cards depending on how many players are in the game. So once a person says go, when it says go, you're going to just start turning cards over and putting them into a discard pile. But if you draw a starter card, you have to play it in the middle of the table, except there cannot be more than 3 piles of cards in the middle of the table. So now, once there are starter cards in the middle of the table, when I draw something, I might see that it goes on top of one of the starter cards. So far, no. I'll let that one go. Oh, there's another starter card. So now there's 3 in the middle of the table. Tigger can go here. So from now on, that pile is all Tiggers. That can go there, and there we have the different piles. And oh, this is a Tigger card. So you're going to keep doing this, but at any point, you can decide you want one of the piles in the middle of the table. You put your bubble on top of it, claim it, and now we keep going to another starter card comes up, and then there will be 3 piles in the middle of the table again, and then players will be playing on top of that one until somebody claims another one, and so on and so forth. When all the bubble cards have been played, when your bubble cards have been played, you still play the game because you're trying to get cards out of your discard pile in hand. When all the bubble cards from all the players have been played, the game ends. At that point, you're going to take each pile, and you're going to get a point for every card in the pile, except for the ×3, which are worth 3 points. You will lose 1 point for every card still in your discard pile in hand, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Okay, container rules, cards, everything fits in here. Okay, the artwork itself is very cute artwork. If I didn't know it was Tsum Tsum stuff, then I would just be like, oh, that's Eeyore. I mean, I know most of these characters, so when they show up, I'm like, oh, okay, these are just funny little faces of them. So you don't have to be in the Tsum Tsum craze to be able to play these. But the game itself is not that original, right? It's very similar to games like Dutch Blitz or other games where you're playing cards from your hand as quickly as possible. In most of those other games, you're simply playing cards higher, you'll play like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here you just play with a starter card and then just play as many of that character and then claim it, right? And so the whole idea of doing this as fast as you can, obviously it's going to favor people who are faster than others. However, it does not totally favor them, because if you're faster than other people, sure, you can quick grab a whole bunch of piles, but you have to be careful that you don't sit there and then suddenly realize that you've used up all your bubbles. Everyone else is sitting there calmly waiting to get bigger piles. Now, and if you go too quickly and grab those, you might be stuck with a whole pile of cards in your hand, which can be worth negative points. This game's a little more thinky for kids than I thought. The idea, because they have to sit there and think, I'm putting out this, I got a starter card, it has to go on the table, but wait, there's 3 piles, so it can't. So I just put that in my discard pile, and here's one I matched that on top of this pile, but there already is another pile that was just grabbed, so maybe I should wait and get a different one out there. And when should I grab one of those piles with my bubble cards? And that's kind of the whole point of the game. When do you use your bubble cards? And so I think that all comes together pretty nicely. The whole idea of when to use the different things, it works really well for kids. The size of the cards is nice. It's not too small, not too large. They're easily bent, these cards, and especially if you put them in the tin incorrectly. But once you know what you're doing, the game will play really well. I think it'll take a game or two for kids to kind of figure out how to do it. But everyone's going to get a pile of cards, right? Even if you're slower than everyone else. Let's say everyone else grabs their bubbles quickly. You will still get a chance to use your own bubbles to grab piles, and you still will have a decent score, and I think that's good. Because speed games are fun, but they can tend to favor the person who just moves with their mind and their hands extremely quickly. Here it flows better, and I think kind of evens it out. So for kids, and even adults, I think adults won't be as big on the theme. The theme will be okay for them, but kids are going to love this Disney theme. If you like Tsum Tsums, I guess you'll like that too. But the gameplay itself is going to be entertaining and fun. That is Tsum Tsum Bubble Fever. Dice Tower Judgment, kid approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!